Putting that important statement by Howard Lutnick into perspective. In fact, 2 days ago, Trump claimed that the Prime Minister Narendra Modi had called him while speaking on the Apache chopper deal.
Why should they wait 3-4 years to get a plane? They should build them, get them immediately. The F-35s, it takes too long to get them. The Apache helicopter. I mean, I had India coming to me, sir, I've been waiting 5 years. We're changing it. We're changing it. India ordered 68 Apaches, and Prime Minister Modi came to see me. Sir, may I see you, please? Yes, I have a very good relationship with him. He's not that happy with me because, you know, they're paying a lot of tariffs now because they're not doing the oil, but they are. They've now reduced it very substantially, as you know, from Russia.
All right, Rohit is back with us. Rohit, this statement from President Donald Trump also just adding that an expected element of, double speak here, isn't it? With President Trump saying that Modi indeed had called him.
Well, the Prime Minister and the President have talked since. It was President Trump who actually even called up Prime Minister Modi on his birthday. And after that, there have been 3 calls, if I'm not mistaken. So, yes, it is quite possible that they have talked about trade deal. They've talked about other things, including the delivery of American arms, which I'm pretty sure would have come up in other conversation as well, because we also had Minister of External Affairs Jaishankar visit the United States in summer and also during September. So look, this is one of the anecdotes that he's presenting to an audience that Prime Minister Modi may have called him, or it could have been just a call. We do not know who initiated the call, but they must have discussed the delayed arms that we're supposed to get from the United States. And President Trump, again, saying that he made it happen. It's all diplomacy. It's all domestic audience. It's all the aura of President Trump and how he acts and how he functions. So I mean, I'm not surprised that he said what he said. But I think the bigger story today, I think for everybody is to understand is we don't have a trade deal because India did not succumb to pressure, and India was not willing to compromise, even if that meant that India had to wait for that elusive trade deal, which hopefully, as Secretary Lutnick said, we will have it soon, sometime, I don't know, maybe sometime in the first quarter of 2026.
Be with us. I'm going to come back to you, Rohit Sharma, getting in those details and adding his perspective to that important statement. In fact, listening to what Lutnick said, with that statement saying that the deal could have been closed, India would have had an advantage had Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoken up, picked up the phone, called Donald Trump, and that's something that he didn't do, and India was given a time-bound window. He seemed to have missed the bus in that sense. In fact, these trade discussions, Rohit, also in a way intertwine with the geostrategic competition in the context of U.S. versus Russia and China in that sense, isn't it? It can't be seen in isolation in that sense.
Well, yes, India has not been in great, or our relations with the U.S. has not been as great as it was a year, 2 years ago. So yes, it has had those consequences and, permutation combinations. Prime Minister Modi was not going to SCO for about 7 years, and he decided to go to China, and we all saw those images from China where he was meeting with the Chinese premier, there was the Russian president, and those images created a lot of waves in Washington, D.C. In fact, President Trump even posting on Truth Social about those meetings. So look, I think it has had a lot of sent ripples across the globe, alliances being looked at, reevaluating things, and whatever has happened since then. So that's President Trump's way of dealing things. Even now, there's so much going on when you talk about South America or you talk about Middle East, and President Trump is kind of dictating where the world goes right now. So yes, we can say that this tariff, protocols or these tariff deals or these tariff negotiations have definitely pushed the world in an unknown territory, and we're all learning to adapt in this new world that is dictated by one person and one person only, as Secretary Lutnick said in his interview, that it is President Trump who decides it after all.
With us, in fact, just to put this into a bit of a perspective here for the benefit of our viewers who've joined us, remember the trade discussions are in a bit of a limbo here. The U.S. Commerce Secretary has put the ball in India's court, saying that this would have materialized. India would have had that early bird advantage in that sense, but Prime Minister Narendra Modi didn't pick the phone and speak to U.S. President Donald Trump, though Donald Trump has said something else altogether. Rohit, as far as this trade talk and the limbo is concerned, this, of course, this unresolved trade controversy is going to, in fact, undoubtedly push India towards the other side, deepen its engagement with other partners like BRICS, Global South initiatives also, isn't it?
Topic with BRICS. I think India has been very sensible about how they've gone about dealing with this change in administration in the U.S. I think they've been very cautious about what they want to do. India has always kept all their options open. We talk about strategic autonomy, and India has actually exercised that to full. So I believe that look, deal will happen eventually. We believe that the deal will essentially happen at some point or the other. But importantly enough, I think it's also given India a reality check as to what it should do in terms of dealing with different superpowers, be it China or be it America. And I think India will always keep their options open. More importantly, and as we are talking about this, U.S. ambassador to India is expected to be landing in India sometime soon. I mean, possibly this week, could be tomorrow, is what we've learned. So I think that will also allow India to have somebody directly that they can talk to in New Delhi. Ambassador Gore is somebody that has the ear of President Trump. He has a direct line to President Trump. So I think the relationship between India and the U.S. will definitely improve in 2026. At least that's what we've been told here in Washington, D.C. After Ambassador Sergio Gore lands up in India, we could see a lot of things improving, including making progress on that trade deal. People have said that March is another, I know we've moved goalposts so many times, but that's another goal that they have, is to be able to announce something, a kind of a framework around March. So we'll have to wait and watch. But just the admission by Secretary Lutnick, two big things. First, the buck stops, in terms of for the U.S., it stops with President Trump. And
Yes.
in India, it stopped with Prime Minister Modi, who decided not to call
Okay,
President Trump.
be with us, Rohit. I'm coming back to you in a moment from now.